What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about a game that I don't think many people are talking about in 2019, and that is Super Mario 3D World for the Nintendo Wii U. And yes, you heard that right, the Nintendo Wii U. I know, crazy to think about. So the reason why we're going to be talking about this game today is I kind of just want to go over why this game has a very special place in my heart, and why it just is incredibly special to me. And the one reason to really do that and really kind of talk about that is because just to kind of give you guys a little bit of background information on myself and just sort of why I love games so much, and just kind of, tell a story. Just basically have a story time. And like I said, more importantly, just to kind of talk about why I love games so much and why they're so special to me. And like I said, this game has a very special place in my heart. So we're going to talk a little bit about this game and why it is in fact so special. And in order to do that, I do have to kind of give a little bit of a backstory surrounding my time before this game and just sort of what happened after I played this game. And I do tend to ramble when I tell stories, so hopefully we'll keep the rambling down to a minimum. I'm going to try to do my best to make sure that rambling doesn't occur. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on in. So the year is 2014, and 2014 was a pretty challenging time for me in my own life. So the first half of 2014, I was a senior in college, working on my undergraduate degree, and so just that last semester alone was very stressful. Just making sure that I had all the assignments completed that I needed to complete, making sure everything was all in order for graduation, thinking about what I would do after graduation, all those different thoughts that you kind of feel when you end one chapter and start another. That's essentially what was going on with me at that time. And it was pretty challenging. Just a lot of stress kind of going on. And whenever that kind of stuff happens, I would always fall to video games to kind of help me through that time, to kind of help me get past, a lot of that stress. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes here. And also at that time too, I was developing feelings for one of my friends at school. We would spend a lot of time together. We would have a lot of the same classes together, and we would, spend time talking and really just about anything and just hanging out and having fun. And I really started to develop strong feelings for this person, and it ultimately did not work out. And so that was kind of stressful as well, just dealing with all that graduation stuff and just being done with my undergrad degree, along with all of this stuff of developing feelings for this girl. Very tough time, very rough time, in fact. And so, again, not really the worst thing to go through in the entire world, but for me at the time, it was pretty challenging to get through, and definitely caused a decent amount of stress and strife. And so it was just kind of a rough time. So graduation came and went, and after graduation, I kind of just spent the summer just working at a part-time job that I had for years at that point, just making some money here and there, and just really kind of enjoying my time away from school. Because I'd been in school my whole life, pretty much, and it was just a long time, and it was just nice to realize that, I don't really have to go back to school right away. And so I was just enjoying my summer vacation, playing games, hanging out with friends, working part-time, all that good stuff. But then at the same time, too, summer was also kind of rough because I was still trying to get over my feelings for that person. And kind of took a little bit of time. I ultimately did do it. But during that time, it was very stressful, and just kind of a lot of thoughts were kind of going in my mind. I don't think I would necessarily say it was, the worst thing ever, but there were definitely some times where I just felt pretty low in terms of looking for jobs, and then the whole situation there. Not really a fun time. So fast forward a few months, we get to August, and at this point, that would normally be the time when I would start school again. But for, the first time in years, like 22, 23 years, whatever the case was, I don't really remember, I didn't have to go to school. And so it was kind of the first time in my life where I didn't really have a set plan of what I was going to be doing next. You go to kindergarten, you go to first grade, then you go to second grade, then you go to third grade, so on and so forth. You go to high school, then you graduate high school, and then most of the time you would go to college. Not really what everyone else does, and that's totally fine. But for me, that's what I knew I wanted to do. And then I go to college and I graduate college. Then what do? Of course, you go out and you find jobs. You try to look for a job, and then you get a job, then you get hired and you start working. But for me, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to do something with my degree, obviously, but there were so many options that I just could not get something down pat. And so that was kind of a little bit stressful at that time as well. And so school, was starting for everyone else, but for me, I was just kind of like, I'm just kind of here. I don't really know what to do. And of course, at the same time, still working through getting over that girl as well, and getting over that person. So again, kind of a stressful time. And so now let's kind of talk about the whole gaming aspect of all this of all this stuff. So at the time, I was a pretty big PlayStation gamer, and I still love PlayStation to this day. I still have my PS4, my PS3. I love a lot of Sony IPs, Uncharted, Infamous, God of War, all those different kinds of games. I absolutely love them. I love PlayStation. I think it's a fantastic gaming console, gaming group of consoles, and different things like that. It's just a ton of fun. And so at the time, I was, playing a lot of PlayStation games, but for some reason, and I mentioned before that gaming had always kind of helped me through some tough times, like I mentioned back in middle school. And for some reason, it wasn't exactly helping in my life at this point. And I was like, okay, that's kind of strange. I wonder if it's just because maybe gaming doesn't have the same effect on me as it used to. I wasn't really sure, to be completely honest. It was just very strange. And so then I started to feel even more kind of stressed and just kind of down, because I didn't really feel like I had something to go to when I felt so bad. And that just kind of, made things worse as well. So fast forward a couple more months. This is now in November, early December. And during that stretch of time, I did in fact have a job interview for a kind of a smaller news organization, kind of a local news organization, that was all online. And you could write about just some things going on in the community, and just do a little bit of writing here and there. And I thought that would be really cool, just to kind of get myself out there, just to kind of get my foot in the door somewhere, and to actually start using my degree in a cool way. And so I contacted them. I said, I'm looking for a job. And they're like, oh, cool. Well, come in this day for an interview. So I went in for an interview, and the interview was terrible. It was not good at all. And I think mostly because my nerves, just got the best of me. Because I knew that I wanted that job, and I knew that it was something that would kind of give me a little bit of peace of mind, and I just did not want to mess it up. And I ultimately did. I think just my nerves got the best of me, and it just was not a good time. I don't even think I made it through the entire interview. I think the interviewer, and this is again sort of my own just kind of paranoia coming in, but it almost felt like she found an excuse to kind of end the interview early. And so I don't know if that's true or not, but it was something that I thought about at the time, and I was like, okay, that just did not work. That was awful. And then of course I got even more down with that whole situation, because I'm the kind of person that is my own worst enemy. Everything that happens, everything that goes wrong, I blame it on myself. And not exactly healthy, but that is kind of how it is for me personally a lot of times. I will make mountains out of molehills for every single day of the week, constantly. So that's just something about me. I'm trying to work on that a little bit, and hopefully I like to think I've made some progress with that. But at the time, that was also just a really terrible situation that occurred, with all of these other thoughts just kind of going on at the same time. So not a fun time. And then, like I said, this was around November, December, so of course the holidays are around. Christmas is coming up, my birthday was coming up, and I just felt like I hadn't really had anything good happen since graduation. It was just a really tough time. And like I said, I was playing PlayStation games, and I just, for whatever reason, just gaming was not helping me like it used to back in the day. And so I was really stuck. And then one day I remembered that Super Smash Bros. For Wii U was either out or coming out. I don't really remember the exact date of it, because I didn't get it right as soon as it came out. And I knew that the game was coming, and I knew it was coming on the Wii U. And I didn't pick up a Wii U at launch because I had a Wii when it first came out, and I love that thing. I absolutely loved the Wii when it first came out. And I loved playing it, loved the games that were coming out for it, loved it. But then after a couple of years, I started to kind of drift a little bit away from the Wii. And I really started to play more like PlayStation games. And so I kind of fell away from Nintendo a little bit. And I didn't have a 3DS for whatever reason. I just never picked it up. And so I didn't purchase a Wii U. I didn't really know anything about the Wii U. I just knew that not many other people had it as well, and they weren't really playing it. And so I just never kind of got on board with the whole Wii U thing. And I don't really think a lot of other people did either, unfortunately, which is sad because it's a really great console. But I knew Super Smash Bros. Was coming out or was already out, and I think it just popped up on my laptop one day when I was just browsing the internet, and I just thought about Super Smash Bros. As a whole. And I thought about all of the time that I spent playing all of the other games in that series. I remember on the N64, me and my really good friend from grade school, we would play that game constantly. He would come over all the time, or I would go to his house, and we would just play Smash Brothers all the time, and it was incredible. And then when Melee came out on the GameCube, we did the exact same thing with a couple of other friends that were around in school at the same time, and we spent so much time playing Smash Bros. Melee. It was insane. Absolutely insane. And then, of course, Brawl on the Wii came out, and me and a really good group of friends from high school, again, we would play that game forever. And so Smash 4 was coming out, and I immediately thought about all those cool times that I had playing Smash, and it just made me really nostalgic and made me really appreciate all of those memories that I had playing that game with all of my friends. It was such a fun time. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to have that experience again. And so I decided to buy a Wii U, which is really weird to say in 2014, especially at the end of 2014, when I think a lot of people were like, you know, this system's dead, no one's really playing it anymore. Yes, Smash is coming out, but how impressive is that really going to be for the sales of the system and whatnot? But I decided that I wanted to pick it up, and I wanted to just kind of go back to Nintendo. And I'm not saying that I'm a Nintendo fanboy in any way. Like I mentioned, I love PlayStation. I still have a PS4. I still play it from time to time. I think it's a great console. I love PlayStation. But when I started to think about Smash Brothers, I started to think about all of the other characters within the Smash universe. So I was thinking about Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Star Fox, all these different kinds of games. And then outside of Smash, I was thinking about, Animal Crossing. I spent so much time with Animal Crossing on the GameCube, during my tough middle school days. And I thought about all of that. And I realized that those games, and just the whole Nintendo universe as a whole, again, I know that I'm really sounding like a fanboy here, and I don't mean to sound like that at all, but it's just sort of what I thought about at the time. I thought about all those games, and I thought about how they all helped me in some way. They all helped me to kind of get away from the negative thoughts that I was having. And I wanted to experience that feeling again. Because it had been so long since I genuinely felt really happy. I think from May 2014 to about December 2014, of course I would, laugh and smile and have fun, occasionally, but I didn't have that genuine fun that I had experienced back in the day with my friends. And I thought, I want that magic back. I want that feeling back. And so, and also a really kind of cool story with the Wii U as well was that this was like the first console that I bought by myself with my own money on my own terms. So GameCube got for Christmas, PS2 got for Christmas, I think a year later. I actually might have that switched around. But I got both those for Christmas, different years. The Wii, my mom bought me a Wii because I really wanted it, and I was a freshman in high school. PS3, I got that with my own money. but that was only for, you know, birthday money, Christmas money, since my birthday and Christmas are kind of close together. So I had just gotten money from that. But the Wii U was the first console that I bought with my own money that I earned on my own time. It wasn't from a holiday, it wasn't from a birthday, it wasn't a special occasion. It was something I bought with my own money on my own time. And so that was really empowering for me as well. So I went to my local Best Buy and bought my Wii U, and I don't think for whatever reason I didn't have Smash. I don't really remember if it wasn't out yet or if it was just out of stock. I don't really remember. But I bought a Wii U, and it came with Super Mario 3D World and Nintendo Land. It came with both of those games. And so I went home, hooked the system up, which took forever, which was really frustrating and annoying, just because I wanted to play the game so badly. Finally hooked it up. I popped in the disc of Super Mario 3D World, and I booted it up, and you have that first screen of them just kind of in that little area, just kind of running around, and that music's playing. And I realized that it had been the first time in a long time that I was playing a brand new Nintendo experience. Because I think the last thing I played was, I didn't even play Skyward Sword on the Wii. It was even before that. So it had been a long time since I played, you know, a newer Nintendo game. And so I got through, you know, the overworld, which is really cool. And then I started that first level in Super Bell Hill. And you get in, and everything is just super colorful. You see Mario there, and then you hear that music. I know, really cheesy, but you get the idea. And he's just running around. And for the first time in a long time, I had a genuine smile on my face. And for the first time in a long time as well, it was the first time that I had genuine fun with a video game. You know, I wasn't playing a video game to get the most amount of kills. I wasn't playing a video game to collect every single possible thing that I could collect using my laptop and a guide from IGN, staying up in the late hours of the night, you know, trying to collect everything, which felt more like work than having fun. I wasn't looking at the most amazing, beautiful, realistic graphics you could ever think of. I was playing a game to have fun. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing that you could possibly do with games, is to have fun and play them and enjoy them for what they are. And so I was running around, and I just had the biggest smile on my face, just controlling Mario and getting the cat suit and listening to the music and just running through the world and just having so much fun. And it just brought me back to a time where I had so much fun. I felt like I didn't have a care in the world. I felt like everything that had occurred at that time, that had occurred earlier that year, was just gone. It just vanished and disappeared. It transported me to an entirely different place. And I know that sounds super cheesy. I know some of you guys are probably rolling your eyes at that, and I know some of you are thinking that I'm incredibly stupid and I'm just being way too sensitive, and you could totally think that way. But for me at the time, it just was extremely special, and it absolutely helped me in ways that I never thought a video game could help me. Now, did Super Mario 3D World help me get over that girl that I had feelings for? Not really. not at all, really. Did it help me find a job? No, absolutely not. In fact, I probably did the last thing that you should do when you graduate. You should not go out and buy a $300+ console and just spend your time playing those games that came with it. No, you should definitely not do that. So no, it did not help me find a job. But it helped me feel, and this is so stupid, this is so dumb to say, and you guys are going to make fun of me for it. I know some of you guys are really going to like roll your eyes at this, but the game really did make me feel human again. It brought me back to a time where I could just have fun for the sake of having fun. I hadn't felt that in so long. And so I spent so much time playing this game, just running around, collecting what I could collect. I wasn't really all that gung-ho about collecting every single thing, because I had done that in so many other games in the past, with like Infamous and Assassin's Creed and all those different kinds of things. And so I was just playing to have fun. I was playing to run around, jump on enemies, get these cool power-ups, see all these cool levels, and just different things like that. And it just, like I said, it just brought me back to a time where I could experience the magic of video games for the sake of experiencing video games and just having plain fun. Just plain fun. And so I finished the game and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I thought about how, yes, this is a stressful time. Yes, I'm not going to get over this stuff overnight. I'm not going to find a job overnight. Different things like that. But it made me realize that not every single thing is doom and gloom. And it helped me realize that once again. I had known that in the past, of course, but you know, when bad things happen or just stressful things happen, you kind of lose sight of that. And this game really reminded me of that. And so I think in January or February of 2015, I actually applied to graduate school. And I went back to school and furthered my education with my English field. And it was great. And then I started to really, you know, just grow from all of the stuff that occurred the year before. And I felt really empowered again. And of course, there might have been some other game that might have done this as well. I don't entirely know. But for me personally, Super Mario 3D World just brought me back to a time where I could experience fun for the sake of having fun. And it helped me out incredibly. And I still have a very special place in my heart for this game because it just brought me so much joy and helped me really realize that not everything is always doom and gloom. And so for that, I absolutely love Super Mario 3D World. And it's kind of funny because now I just graduated recently with my graduate degree, my master's degree in English, and I feel really accomplished. And when I graduated before, I felt kind of that apprehension of starting a new journey. And of course, I'm still very scared to start this new journey as well, but I feel more empowered. I feel more confident in my abilities to actually put my degree to good use. I like I said, I'm still scared. I'm still kind of nervous to, you know, just start something new, but I'm also way more excited than I was, you know, a few years ago. So that is really helpful as well. So it's just really interesting to see how all of this stuff can kind of occur and can really help you grow as a person, kind of teach you some life lessons, and just how important things can be in the long run. So anyway, that's my whole spiel on Super Mario 3D World and why it's so special to me, why I love it, and how it's helped me with a lot of things in my own personal life. And for that, I absolutely love it. So I'm curious to hear what you guys have to think, or what you guys have to say about my story with Super Mario 3D World, all the stuff that I was going through. Is there a game for you that's kind of special in your own heart for either reasons that are like mine or something totally different? You know, maybe you were going through something and you played some game that really helped you out. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about your own game or what you think about Super Mario 3D World in terms of my own life. But yeah, like I said, I just kind of wanted to share this story and just kind of be, I guess not really transparent, but just kind of show you guys a little, maybe a different side of me in terms of my own personal connection with gaming and whatnot, just to tell you a little bit more about myself. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed learning a bit more about me, because I do enjoy sharing these kind of stories, because you never know what people are going through. You know, everybody's going through their own struggles that we have no idea is even occurring. So kind of sharing your own stories and kind of being transparent about a lot of things that maybe have bothered you in the past, or even stuff you're going through now, might even help somebody out there as well. So hopefully if you guys, or if any of you watching, are kind of feeling a lot of the things that I felt, hopefully my story can kind of help you in some way, and just kind of talk about it and just be transparent about it. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me and letting me be transparent with this. I was kind of apprehensive about making this video because I wasn't entirely sure how, you know, people would react to it. and different things like that. But honestly, I don't care. If you think I'm stupid and you think I'm oversensitive and you just think I'm lame, that's fine. I don't really care at all. It's a game that helped me in my own life, and if you think that's stupid, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize for that. So those of you that did enjoy it, I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in the next video. I'm thinking about doing a video just talking about my favorite indies on the Nintendo Switch right now, just because there's so many that I've played recently, and I just kind of want to make a video, just kind of talk about them, and just sort of share my thoughts on those games as well. So yeah, hopefully that will be interesting, and hopefully you guys will enjoy watching that. But like I said, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Take care.